welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and a build update of the Wheel Horse Lawn Tractor. This kit came in an MPC Lotus Indy STP turbine car, which was first put out in 1968. And it was posted on our Grandpa Mark's Hobbies Facebook page. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. My brother TJ and I worked at a place called the Ohio Superior Motel, and I bet you we cut 100 miles worth of grass with this tractor. And it's just one of those things that was like so cool. And I was sent it, said, hey, go ahead and build it. And a bunch of people have helped me out with that. With the directions and everything, and I've been online looking at exactly what colors and everything to go with, and found a couple of discrepancies, but no big deal. We're gonna work with it. So let me get the guys out of the way and show you what we got going on here. Because I'll tell you what, after that Cadillac Brougham, I was really just looking for a mind dump build where I could just slap it together and be done with it, but you know me, I just can't leave well enough alone here. So I kind of got pretty detailed into it. The first thing I did is I took everything that was going to be red, like the framework here, or the body work and the frame and all that, engine, the front end and the hood. The hood really came out good. And painted them all with Tamiya's X7. Now, I really didn't want to get a high gloss on this, but I did want a little bit of shine. I used my, geez, I keep moving the whole mat around here. I used my Gallery's GHAC 98, the dual action standard type airbrush. And I'm telling you, I can't say enough about that airbrush because it laid down that nice. That's no sanding, no wet sanding, no polishing, no clear coat, no nothing. That's just the way it dropped down on there. And actually, it was a lot shinier than that, the coat before this one. And I increased the pressure and pulled back just a little bit, just to give it a little bit duller shine. To be honest with you, I didn't want this thing to look like a hot rod. I wanted it to look like a tractor. So I pulled back just a little bit and gave it a shot and dulled it out, and it sprays so smooth. That tip in there atomizes the paint beautifully. But the body came out good. We'll call it the body. Came out real good. And then today I brush painted the rubber mats on where your feet would go with rubber black. Now, actually, on the tractor with this engine, these probably wouldn't even have been there. There would have just been foot pegs on either side. But we'll go with it. It's good enough for me. And it's gonna look so cool. I mean, when do you get to work on a lawn tractor, for gosh sakes? This is such a unique kit. The tires, I painted the centers flat white with the airbrush. Again, same, the GHAC 98. Painted both sides of them. And then I brush painted the rubber black on the tire, just because I wanted to stay in practice with cutting in lines and things like that. To be honest with you, I could have really quickly masked that off and airbrushed it, but it was just easy enough to give it a paint. Anything that needs touched up, I can touch up when this dries solid. But if you don't use it, you lose it. So I kept on, I try to keep practicing my see, there's a big mistake there, but I try to keep practicing hand brushing just to stay in shape with it. But there's the wheels, and then I got them done Let's jump into the engine here. The engine, I painted the cylinder fins flat aluminum the other day, let that dry, and then hit that with Tamiya panel liner. I hit a bunch of it with Tamiya panel liner to darken it up and to give it a little oil look. The front here where the air intake is, I panel lined that too. And when I did, and I doubt you'll be able to see this, but the 4 screws are Phillips head screws. They're molded right in there. I did drill for the spark plug. This engine has a little flat aluminum piece or steel piece that went over top, and the spark plug went down through that into the cylinder head. So this would have been red there, the cylinder head, and then this piece, the shroud, went around it. Down below here somewhere, and I think I'm going to just have to arbitrarily say the points come out of here, and then drill a couple of holes because, let me find it here. Here's the coil and the air cleaner. I'm gonna have to touch that up. I kind of hit it with something and pulled the paint back off it a little bit. I put the wing nut on there in silver. I did take some liberties with colors on this just to give it a little contrast and things like that. But I drilled for the spark plug wire. Let me get my hand under there. I drilled for the spark plug wire. I also drilled for the 2 points wires that come off of there, the throttle cable, and the fuel line, because the carb is just kind of buried. I painted just a Tamiya's titanium gold back in there to show the carb. This is just semi-gloss black with a flat aluminum band on it to hold it in place. But I figured for something this small, I might as well wire as much as I can and make it look pretty decent in there. There was a lot going on underneath that hood, believe it or not. So there's the carb. Let's pull the transmission. Transmission just got a coat of flat aluminum. And then I did that yesterday, and then this morning I came down and I hit it with the panel liner just to highlight everything. And we'll dirty this up a little bit, but I'm telling you, Tony would not have let this get dirty. So it's going to stay pretty clean. I will do a little paint chipping because that happened, but not a lot on that either. This tractor was maintained so dang meticulously for the age it was, and I bet you I started using it, in the 70s. 76, 75, somewhere around there. And it was just like the day it was built back in 60. I think it's a 67 tractor is what it's supposed to be. Well, here's the battery for it. I painted the black and the red. This will go right to the side of the body. This will come up around to the generator and hook in there. And speaking of the generator, let me pull that out if I can find it. I got so much little stuff here. It's not even funny. Things are getting hidden. Here's the generator. I still have to paint the little cap on the back aluminum, but I wired up the box here with the 2 wires. These 2 will run back up to the dashboard, and then the red positive line will come into here. So that's the generator. I haven't done any panel lining on it or anything yet. I will. And like I said, this whole back little ringlet here will need to be aluminum. So we got that. Chug, chug, chug. We're moving right along here. This has been a real fun build. The dashboard, I guess you call it. I did a bunch of looking around and seeing what it looked like, and here it was a split. Let me get that in focus here. It was a split dash. The 2 was a choke and throttle. Up above was an ignition. There was a lighter, the generator light, and then I can't for the life of me right now remember what this one. Oh, that's where the ignition is. That's where the key would go in, or the key would go in over here, since that's a little bit more flush. And then this would be something. Let's see here. We got the choke, we got the fuel, we got the ignition, we got the generator, we got a toggle switch. I think that might have been for the lights. And then I don't remember what this one here would be for. Oh, that's your lighter. Yeah, it had a cigarette lighter in a lawn tractor, because God forbid you gotta, have that cigarette while you're smoking or cutting the grass. So there's our dash, looking really sharp. Then we got our exhaust. I painted this with the Tamiya's XF56, which is metallic gray, which will look the part here once I get it rusted out. And then I hit it with panel liner. But what I wanted to do here while we're on is I want to take my Weathermaster, Tamiya's Weathermaster C. I'm going to use the C today. I could have used the D with this, but this is a little bit brighter. I want an orange rust. So we will do this right here, right now. And I'll show you how nice these Weathermasters are again. I dig in pretty hard here with the applicator. And then I'm going to come in, and I don't even have my my goggles on. I can see this. And see here, all I'm doing is I'm kind of tapping around this. This would have been pretty rusty. You've all seen these old exhausts. Do that, and then I'm gonna just kind of brush off a little bit. Come back and do it again. I want it kind of heavy here. Like that. There we go. Beautiful. Let me hit 1 or 2 more times on the top. Now we're going to take this. I'm going to grab this one here. And this stuff is awesome. What do they call this? They call this gunmetal. And this stuff is great for chipping. But I'm just going to tap a few randomly around here, just like that. Get those out of the way. I'm going to grab a clothespin. Now I am going to put my visor back on. And I got my panel liner. This has been shaken up a million times today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and out of the bottle about 4 or 5 times. I'm going to rub a bunch of that off. And we're going to come on here and just touch like that. And see how that runs around. And I'm just going to let it go. I'm hitting it in random spots. Nowhere in particular. But this will give it a lot more of a realistic look. And I'm shaking like a leaf today. I need to have some more coffee, I think. There we go. Let's stop at that. But check that out. Now, when I do the build, I'm only going to do, this is the only update I'm going to do. And then I'll put this thing all together tomorrow. It'll be done. But when I do the reveal of this thing, I'll show you that exhaust. When that dries, it's gonna dull down a little bit. It's not gonna be so stark, and it'll look really good. So there's the exhaust. I just wanted to give you a quick show of how I do those. I do this on my full size on my cars too. I'll do the exact same thing. But I think that looks great. And as if you look at it right now, you can even see how it's kind of blending in and slowly sucking into the powder that's part of this. This stuff's almost like a paraffin with powder in it or something. That's the best way I could describe it. But man, I'll tell you what, the C with the Tamiya panel liner sure does make an exhaust pipe look real. So there's the only real tip I got for you today, other than practice with your brushes, and that'll keep your fingers limber and keep working them out. So I am happy with this. And with that, I want to let you go. I just wanted to show you this thing, and my laundry's done in perfect timing. I just wanted to show you how everything's going before it gets assembled, so you can see the parts of the, you know, before it's all put together. This is the handle for it. I'm going to have to make a stick shift because this did have a 4-speed in it. But what I did is I painted it all red. Then I put the semi-gloss black for the handle, leaving the little pin at the top. This is just not working out. Leaving the little pin at the top there where you'd push your thumb, because that was red. So there's that. I haven't done a deck for this yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, because I'm going to integrate this into the Texaco station, and I might put a ball hitch on the back and use this to pull a trailer around between the garage and the spray booth. That way the guys don't have to, I mean, Chandler and TJ are the ones that would be pushing that car around, and I'll tell you what, they're getting a little up there in age. So we got to kind of sympathize with them a little bit. But there we go. I will let you go with that. Tomorrow I will have this thing all put together, and I'll try to get a reveal video out to you Monday afternoon or evening. So there we go. I am Mark. This is Grandpa Mark's Hobbies with the Wheel Horse Tractor. I'll let you go. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow. Thank you for watching.